The impact of COVID-19 on the aviation sector, and some airlines have kicked against the idea of ensuring social distancing on board flights as they seek to operate in the wake of the novel coronavirus pandemic, arguing it's simply not viable. But here in Ghana, domestic airline operators are in strict adherence to social distancing protocols, leaving seats vacant to ensure adequate spacing, amongst others. Sheila Tamaklo was on board a Passion Air flight to Tamale and reports.
Passenger turnout on day one of resuming domestic commercial flights after the lockdown was surprisingly high. New protocols such as checking of temperature, mandatory wearing of face masks and the use of hand sanitizers and social distancing were enforced. Passengers even had to hold out their ID from a distance. On board, some seats were left vacant to ensure social distancing. Sean Mendes is the Chief Operating Officer of Africa World Airlines.
Well, so far the response has been very positive. We've had a number of passengers who've been very eager to get back to flying. All our flights today are sold out, so that's been a start. It'll be quieter over the weekend because obviously business has not yet opened and it's a long weekend. But we're very positive that as things begin to get a little more back to normal and people get used to the protocols involved with the social distancing and the sanitization and so forth, that we are obviously using sanitizers to wipe down all the surfaces which are used. We are using microfiber cloths for the cleaning because these actually are the best ones to use rather than woven fiber. We use hand sanitizers throughout. We have disinfectant sprays which are used to wipe down inside the aircraft, as well as at the baggage area there is a more heavy-duty chemical. You've seen the spray tanks and things which are used to disinfect the baggage and the equipment and the buses which are used to transport the passengers. So overall there's a lot of work which has gone into developing the right formulations and everything in terms of ensuring that the right safety precautions and the right products are being used which are effective specifically against coronavirus, to be able to ensure that anything that a passenger or our staff come in contact with is properly sterilized.
So this is the waiting area where passengers are waiting to board their aircraft. Now, one thing you observe here is this signage on the seats which says, "Please do not sit here." So this is to ensure that there's spacing to adhere to the social distancing protocols, like you can see with these two passengers. This is to ensure that there's no transmission through close contact. Passengers were impressed with the enhanced safety measures at the airport.
I'm very impressed because I came from US. We do the same thing over there. So when I came here, I always carry my gloves and my mask. So that one is very safe for us. I mean, it's very good. They're doing a good job here.
I picked the bus earlier. However, they are not adhering to the safety measures. But for the airlines, the protocols are being enforced and we are being checked at every point.
Deputy Minister for Aviation Yao Afol assured government's commitment to protect passengers and urged passengers to adhere to the new protocols for their safety.
The government is very, very, very interested in making sure that everybody in this country is safe, particularly those who are going to be getting on various aircrafts. So my message to them is make sure that all the protocols that have been set in place is followed. Don't get angry at ticket staff if he or she tells you to go and use a sanitizer. Don't tell them, "Oh, I just use it, so I'm not going to use it." You follow exactly what they tell you to do at the airport when you get to the airport. I believe if we do that, we are all going to be safe.
So right from the terminal, your temperature is checked, there's social distancing, the workers and the staff who handle your documents regularly sanitized to ensure there's no transmission. Now here on the air side, if you observe, passengers come out one at a time to ensure social distancing. If you move on, before you board, you're also handed hand sanitizers to ensure that you sanitize your hands before you get to board the aircraft. All these are part of the new measures and protocols that have been introduced by the airport authorities and the Ghana Port Health to ensure that we're able to contain the spread of the coronavirus, as Ghana has taken the bold step to begin its domestic flight operations. So my next stop is going to be Tamale, where we'll be seeing if the same thing is happening over there. So come on board. For domestic airlines like Passion Air, flying during the coronavirus crisis means they have to operate under exceptional circumstances. They have to implement a number of hygienic measures such as regular hand sanitizing, compulsory wearing of face masks, and a principal guideline of social distancing on board. In order to ensure the social distancing on board, some seats are left unoccupied, translating into lower passenger load for the airlines. Samuel Tichi is the marketing and sales manager for Passion Air.
Averagely, we take 35, 50 thereabout. So it's a good load. But with the social distancing, currently we are averaging or taking about 38 passengers. So you have about 40 seats going west. Those are. But parents traveling with their children can do that. They can sit together. That is allowed.
Observing social distancing on board appears to be something quite challenging for the airlines, because for most of these airlines it means giving about 1/3 of their seats away. There's empty seats, and this is money that will be lost. So the question now becomes, how will the airlines absorb this cost, and are passengers willing to pay an extra cedi or more just to ensure their safety as they continue to fly?
I'll say yes and no, because some people may not be able to afford the increase in prices. Others may be able to afford. So this will depend on the individual. But for me, where I sit, increasing a bit will not be bad. But if it is increased to a level that it will affect a lot of people, then you see that they will not be able to get the number of passengers that they want to, in order to make up their cost.
One of the impacts of COVID has been its impact on the economy now and then going ahead. So I think that it might be difficult to say customers are going to absorb any increases in prices, but as people are asking for stimulus packages and all that, I think the government should come in now, whether it has to do with taxes or anything like that, so that the burden rather goes to the government, so to speak, rather than it being transferred to customers or the aviation sector.
With most airlines having already burnt through their cash reserves after weeks of being grounded, how will they cope?
This is where inventory management comes in. Previously we had promo fares and we have discounted fares and low fares. Because of the social distancing that we are experiencing, those ones have been wiped out, and so our fares are taking effect from the silver fare class. We have the bronze, silver, and then the gold fare class. So now we're selling from silver upwards. The current situation is a very fluid situation. It's very difficult to forecast now. I mean, things are changing very fast. So we expect to have an evaluation of this current fares after 4 to 6 weeks. And then afterwards, we take a decision and then see the way forward.
As the local airlines struggle to mitigate the growing impact of the COVID-19 on their revenues, there are also calls for government to intervene to save the airline operators so passengers can continue to fly.
I think government should come in to help. If they'll bear part of the cost because of the social distances, because it will go a long way to affect the airline itself. So if you don't take a month or two and they realize business is not good, if you don't take it, they will halt their activity. So government should come in to support them.
We believe that government has a vested interest in the aviation industry because aviation plays a vital role in the growth of the economy. And with the interest of the government in the growth of the aviation industry and the economy at large, I believe government will do something to aid the sector.
So as a player yourself, have you applied and have you seen any steps being taken towards this?
As a player, we are doing what we have to do, and then we just believing that the government with its vested interest would make a move that would be to the benefit of everybody.
So right from the Kotoka airport to on board the airline, that is Passion Air, and right here at the Tamale airport, airport authorities are not leaving any stone unturned in ensuring that the new safety protocols are observed to contain the spread of the coronavirus. Now, here at Tamale, you can observe that a makeshift system has been set up here for passengers to wash their hands and also sanitize before they get into the boarding area or the arrival halls. Reporting for Joy Business from the Tamale Airport, my name is Sheila Tamaklo.